Yeah, see, we're goofy here, but we had a great time. And every place we go, we tell people about ProArginine Plus. We tell them about Synergy. We talked to a guy who owned a company, was in Russia. We talked to an airline pilot. We talked to a lady from Laos and had other people. And we don't miss an opportunity to talk about ProArginine Plus. But once in a while, you have an experience that really touches you. I mean, it really touches your heart. That happened to me about between Christmas and Thanksgiving. Okay? I was having my hair cut. And I go to this place up in Highland. And I know these girls really well. And I tease them, we have fun. And there was a lady in there. And her name was Kirsten. And she was 4 or 5 months pregnant. And I said, how you doing? And she goes, well, I'm doing good. And I go, well, you know, what's the deal? Because she wasn't as lively as all these other girls. I go, what's the deal? And she talked about her husband and how he came back from war with post-traumatic stress. And the difficulty it was causing her in her life. And how much she loved her husband, but he didn't come back the same guy because he went out and saved our country so that we can do the things that we do. And these are my real heroes. Everybody knows, you know, I grew up in baseball, and Willie Mays and Willie McCovey and all the Giants were my heroes. I mean, I love these guys. If Willie Mays had a bad day, I had a bad day. If the Giants didn't win, I had a bad day. But I've changed. My heroes now are the people who protect our country. And Kirsten was talking about her husband, and he's here tonight. He's a special guest. Chris, could you come up? This is my hero. Right here. This is my guy. I love this guy. And I want him to talk to you a little bit about his story, okay? But I only want him to talk about things that he feels comfortable with because I don't want to embarrass Chris because what he did for us. He served in Afghanistan and before that in Iraq, right, Chris? And what were you in Afghanistan? What'd you do?
I was a sniper.
For who?
The Marines.
He was a Marine sniper, okay? Now, I've talked to a guy I know who's a colonel, and he's an Army colonel. I said, well, I've got a friend of mine who's a Marine sniper. He goes, that's a special breed of soldier, Dane. That's a special breed of soldier. This is a sniper. I want to ask him, you came back with post-traumatic stress, Chris?
Yes.
You came back with post-traumatic stress?
Yes.
And what did they do for you?
Pills.
Go ahead, tell us a little bit about what happened.
I came back in 2010. Sorry, this is kind of unexpected. I came back in 2010. I served over in 2009, 2010 in Afghanistan. I was over in Iraq in 2006 and 2007. Iraq was a lot different than Afghanistan. Afghanistan, we were kind of in the middle of nowhere, no power, in the southernmost part of Afghanistan. And we lost a lot of good guys. And when I got home, I wasn't the same. I tried to get a job and work a normal life. I ended up getting fired from my first job I got just because I couldn't get along with anyone that worked there. I got pushed on a 3rd deployment with the Marines as a platoon sergeant. Went over to Okinawa, Japan, and trained a bunch of young Marines that were getting ready to go over to Afghanistan. And I ended up getting sent home early from that deployment because my drinking, I got really heavy into alcohol, and I just couldn't lead Marines anymore. I got home from that, and my wife was pregnant at the time, and all I did was drink and fought and drink and fight. And I went through severe post-traumatic stress treatment in California, where all they did was put me on pill after pill, and every single pill I tried some of them were good, but they all had bad side effects. Not sleeping, or I couldn't find anything. And then I kind of just lost hope and just tried to kind of bury everything. Moved back to Utah with my wife and our baby, and I actually got sober. I was going through AA and not drinking, and then I went to a Marine Corps ball and talking to he was a major, retired major. He was about 75 years old, 3 Purple Hearts, fought in some of the hardest fights that the Marines have ever fought in, and it just brought me back to Afghanistan, and I started drinking again that night. And I went right back into drinking, and I got so low I didn't want to live anymore. I had a wife and a son, and I wasn't happy, and I knew I should have been happy. But then my wife came home one day and said that this man had wanted to give us this product to try. And so she got the product from Dane and brought it home, and I let it sit there for a month because I kind of thought of it as another drug. I'm not going to try this. I'm doing fine, I guess. And finally, she convinced me to start taking it. And now I take it twice a day, every day. And I've never felt better in my life. And I have a lot of friends that have issues, like I did. And when you're dealing with Marines like this, it's hard to get to them because they don't think they need help. But I want this product to get out to them because they need it. That's right.
I love our military people because they allow us to do what we do because they're out there on the front lines fighting for us. And we do everything we can for these people. And I've been all over the world. Everywhere I go, I talk about Pro-Arginine Plus to anybody. But sometimes there's just somebody special that you give it to, and it changes their life. Chris told me, you're 26 now, right, Chris? When he was 25 years old, he said he was sitting on his couch, and he had his head in his hands, and he was going, do I have to live my life like this? Do I have to live the rest of my life like I'm feeling now? And he didn't know where he would go because he suffered so bad from post-traumatic stress. He was on how many medications, different medications? 15 different medications, okay? That's what they were giving him. And really, it'd take his medication, but it'd make him feel so bad that he couldn't function as a human being, he told me. But if he didn't take it, he'd get anxiety attacks. He was in a catch-22. He had nowhere to turn. And so when I saw his wife that day, I said, you wait right here. I'm going to go give you some Pro-Arginine Plus. I want you to give it to your husband. Because I've had other experiences with this, with post-traumatic stress. And then she left me a message one day, because Chris wouldn't take it between Christmas and Thanksgiving and Christmas, right, Chris? Because he was worried what it might do for him over Christmas, she told me, but really he probably didn't believe that it would do what it did. And now he's a totally functioning human being because of Pro-Arginine Plus. And we can do this. We got to get it out. Chris wants to help his buddies now, and he wants to help the people. And this is just one experience, but this one's touched me like none other. None other. After I heard from Chris, I said, his wife, I said, Kirsten, you bring Chris over. I want to talk to him. And so he came over to my house that night, and I talked to him about this. And we got him some more product, and he's still doing really well. And you've been on for a couple months, right, Chris? Yeah. A couple months now. He's still doing well. This is what we can do, people. We can help people. We have to open our mouths and let people know. There's been people up here that said that Dane saved my life because he introduced me to Pro-Arginine Plus. Well, you know, nothing's touched my heart like Chris has. Nothing has. And I walk around and I just think about it. Chris has a beautiful wife. I mean, I love his wife too. He just had a new little baby boy. And I can't tell you what this has done for me. And I don't have to do this anymore. I really don't. I don't have to travel. I don't have to do anything because I make more money than I ever thought I'd ever make. But that's not why we do it. We do it to go out and help people. How many other Chris's are there out there? We got to go find these people. These are our heroes. These are real heroes. Not these guys that get up and sing songs on the stage, or you know, these professional athletes or these politicians who cause all these problems. This is our heroes. This guy. We got to go out and help these people. We have to help everyone. And that's what we need to do. So I know this has been hard for Chris, and the last thing I want to do is get him up here and say something that he doesn't want to say. I don't ever want to do that to him because I respect him too much for what he's done for our country and for each one of us. We got to get out there. We have something we can share with people. And I share it all the time, but nothing's touched me like this. So thank you, Chris.